In this video, I'm going to teach you how to factor algebraic expressions by finding the greatest common factor. Here I have it laid out for you in what I think is super easy to learn format that once you understand it will actually be super easy to do the questions. And if you remember this in your test or whenever you have to recall this, you just think of this chart right here and it will be fine. So what I've done here is just created squares with each of the letters to help you remember it, to help you recall it. So what we are learning here is that A times B plus A times C equals A times B plus C. So how does this look here? There's the blue box here plus the purple box here, and they both have the same height. They both have the A. So that means that they are the same number, they are the same height. Therefore, since it's there's a greatest common factor, we can just put the A here times B plus C because they're both the same height, so they fit into the same kind of box. So, doing this in practice, let's just move on to this super easy to understand question right here. What we do here is we first find, what do we learn? The greatest common factor, which in this case, X, there's no other X's, Y, there's no other Y's. There is 2 3's. So that is your GCF, your greatest common factor. So then what you do is you just put the 3 here, and then in parentheses, you put the other factors that aren't part of the GCF. So then it would be simply X plus Y. So that's the answer for this one. And if you compare this to this right here, it's the exact same. Instead of A, it's 3. So it's 3x instead of AB, and then AC instead of, or 3y instead of AC. Easy to understand, right? It's not super complicated. It's not rocket science. This one, don't let it overwhelm you. What I've already done is I've found a greatest common factor. As you can see, in every one of these, I'll just circle each one of these pluses so that they're easy to see, so that it separates them a bit more. We see that there is X in each of these. We also see, when we look at this, that 2 also is a GCF, because you can multiply 2 to make any of these numbers. You can multiply 2 by 2 to make 4. You can multiply 2 by 4 to make 8. So then 2 is also a greatest common factor. So what we'd put as the first part of the answer to here is 2. And since this one right here does not have it's not squared, we cannot put it as squared. So then it's just an X here instead of X squared. And then, so it's 2X times what it would be here. So we need to get it, if we did this backwards, we should be able to get the same thing. So then we put 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. And then we'll skip right on to Y, because X times 4 equals 4X. So we don't need the X there. We do need the Y, because that isn't here. We need the Y, and we also need the Z. And then add a little plus sign there. And then we see here, there is an 8. And as we know, that is 4 right here. Right? Because if you times that times 4 times 2, that of course is 8. And then we just put it as X here because we do not need to it's being squared. X times X is X squared. Plus 2 x to the third power. So we've already got 2, so the 2 gets erased here. And then we're just left with x squared. This is the answer for this question. Hopefully you understand that. If you don't, we'll just go through it really quickly here. Not a problem at all. 2x. We found that by finding the GCF, the greatest common factor. All of these can be multiplied by 2. This one right here, multiplied by 2, can be multiplied by 2, can be multiplied by 2. Therefore, we put 2. The x is here, here, here. It did not have a squared, so we put it just as x. Then on these equations, simply working through it again really quick, the 2x times this, we got rid of the 2, or we got rid of the 4 and replaced it with a 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. There is no x because 2 times x is, or 2x times 2yz is 4xyz. And then for this one here, very simple, right? Just the same thing. And then again, the same thing over here. This is squared because this is to the third power. Just make sure you look at that. Don't get confused there. All right. I hope you understand this concept. This video is a bit longer, but the concept is a bit harder to understand. So yeah. If you guys would like me to make another video like this, just let me know. All right. See you.